Hi all, right back with more Normandy at the beginning of the end using the Alone in the Storm solo expansion. We're doing the first scenario, patrol in the front. I'm playing as the Americans and the AI is playing as the Germans. Okay, this is my part 4. Okay, so pretty much straight back there, just copied that bit across. You can see we're all finished here. The AI have got one other intel markers finished, but they've got 2 still to come on the board. So I guess we're looking at this priority chart again. We're still on the offensive. Yeah, it only gets checked. All that stuff gets checked once per turn, I think. This is my belief in it all anyway, so hopefully we're getting things right. So they've got 2 infantry markers still left there. So doesn't apply, not routed, don't have any mark with 2 actions. There's no objective hex within 3. There's no player forces not marked finish within 3. There's no player forces marked finish within 3. So it's looking for the AI forces closest to an objective hex not controlled by the AI side. So between these 2, and remember, this one comes on here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 away. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 away. So we've got to break that down a little bit. So secondary priority rules for multiple options. I suppose I should come down a look. So here, hex is reachable with safe movement. Right, hang on here. Hex is reachable with safe movement and or with a greater number of objectives in play. So this is to decide which unit we're activating first, though, doesn't it? Well, I would say they're both within safe movement, aren't they? Or there's a greater number of objectives in play. Well, no. The force is close to the objective here, it's not controlled by the AI side, yeah. So it is still A7, then we're just going to do the secondary, yeah? So I don't think none of that doesn't break it down for us. So number 2 is AI forces with the highest fire factor against the closest player platoons. Well, they're both the same. They're both classes having, 21 fire factor. Routed targets, no. Select AI companies first, then intel markers, and finally out of command platoons. Well, they're both intel markers, that doesn't break it down. First AI forces closest to player platoons, then AI forces closest to player controlled objectives. So yeah, is one of them closer? I think they're probably going to be the same. There's the closest. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so they're both the same away as well there. So I think this does come down to maybe just randomising this. Activation priority. I get the feeling, yeah, there we go. Yeah, after using V chart and the secondary priority list, if there are still some AI forces remaining to be selected, choose at random. Okay, so I'll just say that this is this one's 1, 2, 3, and this one's 4, 5, 6. I'm just going to roll this off camera. Roll the 5. So yeah, we might be on that. So we're going to go for this guy. Okay, so we've found the next intel chip we're going to move. So then we move from that to order assignment, I think. So is that the K one? This will get a bit smoother, hopefully, once I've done it a few times. Is that this one here? Yeah, that's K. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think you can see you're going to be able to get through this once you've done it a few times. Yeah. So I think we moved on this. We know what intel marker we move in. We're on offensive. Now, hold on. Yeah, we've not marked him. We've got him, however, he's marked high as well. Because there's 2 high markers, so he's going to be marked medium. So he's high offensive, so we're up the top here. Under the high activity level, so we're in here. And then, is there 3 hexes away from a platoon? No. Is there a platoon within spotting range? Again, we're gonna say no to that, because although the range number is within the number, it's not spottable. So I'm going to say no to that. So we're going to say out of spotting range. So again, it's an intel marker, so we're rolling on this again. The modifiers are not going to apply again. No. So I'm going to roll on this. A 1 to 4 will be assault, and a 5 to 10 is advance. So we get 6. So it's advance again, so it's exactly the same as before. So he's going to get an advance, or which one is it? Advanced movement, isn't it? Is that right? So no, it wasn't that guy, Grant. It was this guy. And he's going to get an advanced movement. He's high activity. So where is he going to go to? So yeah, I think we come and follow the flow chart again, don't we? So advance, may attack, no. May perform a safe assault, no. Select a target, and again, so he's again looking for the closest hex where the AI force may attack with MFF. Right, I want to say he's not going to consider a hex that there's an AI already there. So the closest to him is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, I think. Oh, hold on. He can be here and still fire at that, remember? Because that's... Oh, no. He can. If he's in the hex with blockades, there's no blockage in that hex. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 as well. So they're both as close. And can he make a safe movement towards that hex? Yes. At the moment he can, because these are all finished. Not going to have any issues there. So what if there's more than one though? More than one company intel marker may have the same target hex. Alright, okay. More than one company / intel marker may have the same target hex. Once an AI force arrives at that hex, the target marker for any others is retrieved. I see. Because this guy's arrived here. If he had still had that as his target hex, this could have that as its target hex. But that's not the case then. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, how do we decide between the 2 hexes? There was a bit that tells us about that. I think advanced movement. Where was that? I definitely came... There was a bit before... If there's more than one, wasn't there? Ah, yeah, I found it, yeah. That is under advanced movement. So, if more than one... Where is it? If several hexes are available, choose the hex with the highest divisor value first. After that, choose an objective hex. And finally, choose a hex where the AI force may attack with the highest FF possible. So, that's going to be more... I think that... Did we just get that from the terrain? Yeah, we do, don't we? The terrain chart. So let's... I cannot pick that up. Let's have a glance at that. So, yeah, looking up there, our 2 hex choices were... One was in here, but it's behind the blockage. And one was in the fields. So here's the defensive values of these hexes. So fields are away down the bottom here. So fields for AP fire is 3. And then, well, if I cross over to the other side, does it have bocage? OT, other terrain. Alright, okay, so it doesn't matter about it crossing the bocage. Yeah, it could still, thing is, it can still fire into there, can't it? This unit's still able to fire into that hex if we are sitting in there. So that would be clear terrain, open terrain, which has got a defense value of 2, whereas that's got a defense value of 3. So that's going to be the target, I think. There, I believe. And it can move with safe movement. So it's now going to move towards that. So it says movement route. Search for the shortest path towards the movement's target hex, according to the selected movement type. Which is just, it's just infantry. We can only move. You can only move 4. He's got 4 movement points. And remember, he can use the, what is it again? Double time. And including as many hexes with blocked players' line of sight as possible. Avoid the following hexes. Any hex with AI force may suffer an attack with at least MFF from player forces during its movement. If it's not possible, the hex is in the path. Yeah, okay. So, what's the best move from them? Well, 1, to be honest, he's not going to get that far, is he? 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, he's only going to get to here anyway. And his double time's not going to help, is it? And moving through fields, they're 1.5, aren't they? So is it any better? It's probably not any better coming down here because it's crossing the bocage every hex there as well. So that's like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Whereas it's 1 across that bocage, 1.5 in there, and it's only 1.5 in there, and then another 1.5 in there. So I think it's better just going the straight route, isn't it? So movement of 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't benefit from double time then. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. And that says move complete. Right. Remember, he is high activity. So we're going to check. Is this a dice roll again? Where did I check that one? High activity. I've done that for that last guy. I just can't remember how I've done it. I feel like it must be a die roll, but hold on. I can't remember. It's further back. Wait till I find it. There we go. Found it again. Page 8. First time an AI force with a high activity was activated. Perform a morale check. It's morale check. Yeah. Well, there 8 as well. You know what? I should maybe double check morale check though. Well, that'll just be in the main rules, won't it? I'm pretty sure it's 8 or lower, but then yeah, because they've not got. Yeah, and it was decided that these were 8, wasn't it? Where did I get that from again? That's on here, is it? No, it's not on here. I can't remember where I found that. Hang on. Yeah, morale's 8 for this game for an infantry A. Looking up the morale checks. Rule 9 morale is on page 18. Morale check. How do I carry out a morale check? Morale check procedure. Oh, it's 2d6, Grant. You fool. Damn. That was me trying to be smart and jumping the gun. So I should have rolled 2d6. I rolled a d10. So I gave them a slight benefit there, didn't I? Did I? Yeah, because they need to roll less than 8. And I rolled a d10, so yeah, it should have been a d12. Well, or 2d6. That's less than or equal to. Okay, I've only got 1d6 then. Hang on, I'll get another one. Okay, so we'll just let that one go the last time, and there's no point in me trying to go back and try and sort all that out. We'll assume that they rolled 2d6. I don't want to do another die roll for it now in case it fails, and then I've got to try and fix things. But it was a d10 I rolled, yeah. So it should be 2d6, and we've got to get less than 8. Okay, so 8 or less, sorry. 8 or less. So he succeeds with that as well. So he's going to get a 2 actions marker 2. That's going to get put on. And in actual fact, he's just going to move again, isn't he? So he's got that. High activity, advanced movement, yeah. And then, so he's not marked finish because of that. Okay. Well, I might as well just press on. So I'm going to activate him again, haven't I? Because if we look at the priority chart, the first one that's going to come up is the AI forces with 2 action markers assigned. So we're going to activate him again. He's fine about doing his movement, it's safe and all that. So I can take that away. And, right, but his movement, can he reach? This time it's going to be 1 and 1.5. So that's 2.5. And then another 1.5 is 4. He's not going to be able to do it, is he? Because he would do double time, but he's only got a movement of 4, isn't he? Yeah, so it's 2.5, and then another 1.5, that's 4, and then another 1.5, that's 5.5. He's not got 5.5. So it's going to be there he's going to end up, I think. So that's going to stay there, that'll stay there. That'll stay there, and this time, however, he's marked finished, I believe. Yeah. Right, okay, well, we might as well do the last guy then, because we've nothing more. We have to just pass, don't we? And actually, they won't pass because they're not in defensive mode. That was one of the. That's on one of the play rates, isn't it? Somewhere. I definitely seen it because, you know what, I think it's on the back of this one. Or not, maybe. I'm sure it was one of the ones that are green. It tells you about them passing. Because I read that because... there we go. There it is. The AI passes. It has to be in defensive mode. So it's obviously going to keep going if it's in offensive mode. If it was in defensive, it might just pass. You would think it would put reaction markers on though, but maybe not. Well, we'll look into that if it ever comes up. So so there's no priority to check. It's obviously going to be this guy. He's going to get a medium activity level marker, and he's going to come on in hex 900. So what are his orders going to be? Right, they're slightly different this time because it's medium, so it's in this area. Still offensive, so the top of this area, and still out of spotting range. And as an intel marker, so it's this one here. So it's a 1 to 3 on assault, 4 to 10 will be in advance. So slightly less chance of the assault, which I'm not sure what it's going to do if it comes up assault. Well, we're still not going to find out. So it's a 5. Again, there was no modifiers. Well, But it's interesting, we'll need to watch, because if these do happen to stay as intel markers adjacent to each other, there would be a modifier there for next turn. So what did I roll? I rolled a 5 there. So it was 4 to 10. It's going to have an advance action as well. So advance movement, yeah. Advance movement. So where's his target going to be? From there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would say here, 6. Yeah, so that's going to be his target. And that's a black circle. So we put that one there. And then, yeah, just start moving them, I think, Grant. So 1, 2, just wondering about, no, probably not. 1, 2, 3, 4, I think. Just, you would think they might maybe want to go on the road, but there wasn't any talk about that. It's just like, it wants to stay safe. Doesn't really want to reach it quick or anything like that, do anything clever like that. So I'll just move it simply 1, 2, and then 3, 4 crossing the bocage, I guess. Double time, I need 1 movement point more, but so 1, 2, 3, 4. And remember, this is not high activity. And this one, so it's just going to end its turn there. That's going to be it finished. There we go. So I think that's going to end the turn, isn't it? I don't know, nothing terribly exciting happening, but I mean, hopefully we're going to, next turn we're going to get some action, aren't we? We're going to get things shooting at each other. Going to find out what some of these are. I mean, I'm assuming, well, maybe not, because it does give them a fire factor. I mean, can they just sit there and still be an intel marker and attack? Possibly, because I don't know. It says close. It says it would be revealed if it's what, close assault, but that's not what that's going to be, is it? Yeah, I was just looking up close assault there, and this might get a little awkward because I'm playing it with the solo system. The AI might actually want to do some assault stuff, and however, I'm playing mission 1, which is patrolling the front, which only requires you to read up to rules. Well, the first section of the rules, so that you're not sort of bogging yourself down. But I mean, I don't think assault rules come into it until it's section 3, to be honest. Not even section 2, it's section 3. So I don't know if we can maybe just, if it comes up as an assault, I think what I might just do is, sort of override that and carry it out as an attack action, I think. Yeah, I think so. Well, we'll find out. If they go to make an attack, we'll see what happens. If they might still be able to attack as an intel marker, because what was it we were saying, their firepower was 21 or something. Yeah, the firepower's 21. So yeah, I don't know if that means that they're allowed to attack in that state or not. We might need to look a bit more into that. Right, I'm going to have to take a break for now. I'm not so sure if I'm going to get back later or not. I'd like to think I might. Well, hang on, aren't we finished the turn here though, Grant? Can't you just... Yeah, there's this... The next part is like removing markers, isn't it? The sequence of play, because I think that's all, we're all done, aren't we? Sequence of play, marker removal phase. As in the standard games, to finish the turn, you must first remove the following elements from the map: all out of command markers from platoons that have moved into command range, all finished markers If desired, reaction markers from player side. Activity level markers assigned to any AI forces are removed from the map or the HQ board. Okay. The AI side always keeps its reaction markers, so rotate these markers in order to distinguish them from any new reaction markers placed during the new game turn. Okay, well, I can clear that off and we can at least finish the turn. So I'm going to remove all the relevant markers there. Right, so that's all the finished markers. You'll see that there's actually, I think there's a double time marker here as well. So they don't get removed, obviously. That's to signify that he can't double time on his next action, neither can he. However, I did say to remove the activity level markers too. That stays there, but these two come off, and so does this. They're still moving towards their objective, or their target hexes. Yeah, so that's that. And I think we can move on to turn 2. I'm assuming just move on to turn 2. Now, initiative is not necessarily going to be the US, because we need to roll for that. And then obviously this is going to get checked as well and might change, and I might change their attitude slightly. Okay, so yeah, it does. You can see it does become. It's maybe not as complex as I thought. I should remember doing everything right, of course, but it's right. I'm only 26 minutes in there, so it seems a shame to just cut this as a short part. But that's turn 1. Remember, it was only 6 turns, so we're moving on to turn 2. But things are going to start getting a bit different, aren't they? And it's only the US, only the Americans that have this hex victory points. But you can see they're going to easily get that one. And these two, that worries me a little. The fact that the Germans are just not really paying attention to them. But we might find that once they start in some fighting there, that they might consider this as a. I'm just not quite reading that for the moment, but it's maybe there. It's maybe there. Okay, well, I'm 27 minutes there. I do need to take a pause. So, more than likely, I won't just cut this as a part. This will be the smallest part ever that Grant's recorded, so can't have that. Okay, I'll be back later. Anyway, cheers. Hi all. Right, this is just a continuation of part 4, I think it is, isn't it? This is the next again day. I didn't get back last night, so I think I'm 27 minutes in there or something. And we've ended the turn. We've moved on to the second turn, and let's just do it. Right. So the first phase is command phase. So check everyone's in command. It all is. We made sure we were in command here with Bravo Company, Echo Company, and Foxtrot Company. He's got a range of 2, so that's all good. This is the one that's got a range of 1, and this guy's got a range of 2 as well. So they're all good, and the AI are still just intel markers, I believe. So that's that done. There's nothing to be marked out of command. So the headquarters phase now is the AI phase. So this is now going to check the rush resistance value. So now, is there a table to look up for that? I'm on the right page. It's on page 6 here that goes through the steps. I think is there not a chart that we can look up to decipher that? Yeah, there is, isn't there? I think it's that one there, actually. So, yeah, this one, isn't it? Rush resistance chart, HQ phase, yeah. That's what we're doing now. So I'm just looking at the rulebook. That is it. The first step is counting how many objectives are controlled. It's a wee bit more detailed in the rulebook, but there is going to be some this time. So count. No, not for the AI. No, count controlled objectives / victory points earned by the AI side. Well, that's nothing. they don't. Oh well, hold on. Yeah, now hold on, Grant. They said that they don't control anything anyway. They're not over any VP hexes. They've not took any steps off any American units. So, but what I'm wondering about is, what is it in? What is it? Yeah, I know what it is. It's in the setup. I must have put that book aside. Adapted historical scenarios. Yeah, because does it not tell us in here that we need to consider here? For rush resistance calculations, count each objective hex as one victory point. Right, so my take on that is that the next step is count the controlled objective / victory points earned by the player side, because we as the player have got, in fact I think it's only the one, isn't it? Is it just this one, or is it in here? No, it's this one here, isn't it? Yeah. So that means that the Americans have got one victory point. They've not reached that one, not reached that one. So there's 5 of them in total, 1, 2, 3, 4, that haven't been occupied. And if I'd been through this hex, I would mark it. I'm going to mark it with a little green cube if I happen to move away. But the fact we've got units in this hex. So that value is going to be 1 then, and that's just to calculate for this. So the difference between the results of the previous steps, 1 minus 2, so 0 minus 1, so they're sitting at a -1, I believe. Then we count the AI forces employed and discard depleted companies. AI forces employed is 3. Right? Count player companies employed and discard depleted ones, that's 3 as well. So the ratio for that is 1:1. Determine the rush resistance value on the chart over here. Modify result according to the current game turn. Well, again, the game turn, it's not the last turn or the penultimate turn. That's for initiative, right? We're not at that yet. Modify the result, take the appropriate amount of high, medium, and low level activity markers. Right, so the value for the objectives ratio is -1. The forces ratio is 1:1, so it is going to be, it's still going to be the same number. Still going to be 4. Yeah, so we leave that as a 4. So they would get half of that in high level markers. There are lows. There's all the highs hiding. There we go. So half of that in highs. So we get 2 high. Again, we're just going to get the same. We're going to get 2 highs and 1 medium. Because we've only got 3 intel markers. Yeah. And even when it comes to it, you're only going to have 3 officers, aren't you? So you're only going to need 3 of the markers, I think. Unless, for some reason, we get more than 1 officer and something like that out of one of the intel markers. Right, okay, so I think that's that. Then we go into initiative. Let me just double check. Yeah, we take these markers and we keep them beside the boards, yeah, until we're ready to activate our units, and then that'll determine. Yeah, okay. So initiative, well, we've got that on this chart as well. So roll 1d6 for each side, modify, +1 for the attacker side. Does it say the Americans are the attacker? I don't think so. Oh, it is, yeah. It says the special rules. Now, I wonder if it says anything different on the solo side of things, though. Don't think it does, to be honest. It just mentions the rush resistance stuff, deployment. Yeah, it doesn't elaborate any more on that. So, with that, it says here, the special rules for American player deploys first, but the American player is the attacker and it gets the first activation. So it must be classed as the attacker throughout the scenario. So it's going to get a +1 to that. It's also going to get a +1 because it had the initiative in the last turn. So it's more than likely going to win this. There's no modifiers for the actual indicated scenario. So I'm going to roll 2d6. We've got a green and a blue dice. So the Americans have green dice, Germans have blue dice. Remember, Americans get a +2. So yeah, well, they've not needed that +2. So they keep the initiative then. Yeah, okay. So that's initiative sorted. So now we're going to activate phase and perform actions. Okay. Well, this is when we're going to try and find out what these are. I mean, I think we've got well, see, he's not reached his target yet. He's not. Well, actually, no, that is in line of sight. I maybe didn't notice that. Could that have been his target hex then? Because he could fire from that hex. Did I not look into that though? No, I didn't. I looked into that hex possible. I'm forgetting that the line of sight, it goes up the spine. This blocks it, but this does not block it. So he would have been able to sit in there and have a shot. So I'm just wondering if that might have meant that had been his target. What were the see, that might have been because that was closer to where he was, wasn't it? Let me look back on that. I think I might have made a slight blunder with that. Yeah, because for advanced movement, once you've decided the orders, after that you determine the target hex, which is the closest hex where an AI force can attack with MFF. So that would have been the closest hex, because he came from hex 1100, didn't he? And I think I considered this hex, didn't I? In actual fact, that's closer as well though, Grant, isn't it? And I think because we could reach this one, I chose this one to be the target because it's got a better divisor, isn't it? So, but if the priority is the target hex, the closest hex where it can attack, with a divisor value of 3, 4, 5. Right, but hang on, that has not got a divisor of 3. That's got a divisor of 3, so is that. That's only got a divisor of 2, but it says or 2 if that AI force cannot be reached with MFF. Right, hold on here. Determine the target hex, and then colon, the closest hex where an AI force can attack with MFF or perform a safe assault with a divisor value of 3, 4, 5, or 2 if that AI force cannot be reached with MFF. Oh, okay, it will sit in a 2 if it cannot be reached itself with MFF. Well, I don't think that would be the case, actually. Because, well, at the time, these were all finished, so does it consider that when it says that? Or does it mean that once we have got a new turn, these guys can shoot in there with MFF, and he's kind of out in the open, isn't he? I'm not sure it means, it says that if that AI force cannot be reached with MFF. I would say that even though that guy was finished, that if I had that as a target hex, that guy could reach him with MFF, because that's only got a divisor of 2. Well, what would his fire per be? So he's only a 6, isn't he? He's only a 6. So what's I can double check this MFF, but right, so let's get this sorted out. Minimum fire factor. That's what MFF stands for. This is on page 5, 4.6. Well, let's just look at it in the bottom here. So it says, during battle, some decisions for AI actions will be taken based on a concept called minimum fire factor, hereafter MFF. The MFF is the minimum fire factor value required for the AI to perform an optimal attack in order to cause losses on enemy platoons. And I'm assuming when it says that fire factor is the AI required, that it also means that to be fired upon, because that's what it's asking in this, it's checking in this one, isn't it? For the US to have a minimum fire factor on them. So I think that works both ways. So it says the MFF requirements go as follows. It's 10 F fire factors when attacking hexes with a divisor value of 4 or 5 for the selected fire factor type. Now, just coming back to here, 4 or 5. I cannot pick that terrain chart up with the thing. So that's these values down. Well, we're just AP fire, so you can see it's these values here. So you can see in dispersed buildings is a 4, built up areas a 5. So we would need a 10 fire factor to have as a minimum fire factor on that. So that's the 4s and the 5s as a 10. However, if we drop it down a little bit to the divisor value of 3, which, looking at my terrain chart again without showing you, 3s are rough, light woods, marsh, fields. So they're all 3s. So you need the minimum fire factor of 8, and then it's 6 when attacking with a divisor of value of 2. And the 2s are just open terrain. In fact, that's probably that, I think. Open beach sand. That's the 2 that have only got a value of 2. So, according to this, the AI will be ordered to perform certain actions like attacking or reacting to player movements if they can perform an effective attack, i.e. the MFF allows it. Okay. So jumping back to what we were looking at there in the movement, this was to decide where the target hex was. So after that, determine the target hex. This is on page 24, under advanced movement. And then it says the closest hex where an AI force can attack with the MFF or perform a safe assault. Right, we're not going to bother with assaults in this scenario. With a divisor value of 3, 4, or 5, or 2 if that AI force cannot be reached with MFF. See, I'm thinking it means that the US firing back on the AI force, if they can't reach it, if they can't fire on it, it'll happily sit in a divisor value of 2. If they can, they're going to ignore 2s and they're going to look for a 3, 4, or 5. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna just. I think some things are going to happen here, and I might well be getting some things wrong, but this is the way to learn it, I suppose. So I think I'm going to backtrack a little and say that because this started back here. 1, 2. He must have got 2 movements. He got a double action, didn't he? So, and he wasn't quite able to reach here, but I think his target should have been here, because that is closer and he can fire with MFF on that. Now that well, not technically not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hexes away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 6 hexes away. If you're just talking hexes, and that's 6 away, that's 5 away. So that clearly should have been the target. I just didn't realise he could fire through that. I was forgetting. I was thinking that this was blocking line of sight, but this is not. The field doesn't block the line of sight. The buildings do, but the spine, right down the spine, is fine. So that would have been his target. So I'm going to say that he completed his movement, and I'm going to remove these. I think that feels right to me. And he is able to get an MFF. He's sitting in the divisor value of 3. And his minimum MFF needs to be 8. And remember, it states that they've got 21. So the other thing is that they could go at range up to 4. Yeah. So technically he could be here firing across the bocage. he's only firing through 2 fields hexes. He could actually have ended there, but I don't think that's any closer, is it? Maybe it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, see, that's 5 and that's 5. Right, let's just go with that one. If anybody thinks... I want to get these things right, though. If anybody feels that I should be taking other things into consideration with this, then let me know. Maybe it's one of the little bits where it's not such a big deal. What would you prefer to do yourself? I know I don't like to do that, though. I want to be guided with the AI, so that feels better, because that is in a divisor of 2 as well. And to be honest, this guy could fire on him, but the thing is, he would only be firing with half power, and he's only got a power of 6. So I'm not sure he would. That counts, right? I'm gonna go with that. Right, okay. As the Americans' turn, though, it just felt like that was a bit off. And there's the same situation here. No, because there's buildings in both of these. So this has not got line of sight on that. So I think that one was right. It's just that one looked like it was off. But right, let's go. So we've got a few options here. Unfortunately, Foxtrot back here. These guys are back here, so we've only got 2 platoons here. So we could, before activating, we could select but that's going to use an action, isn't it, Grant? Well, so does the recon, though, anyway. Or does that use an action? Hang on. Okay, my understanding is that trying to identify these when activating the player forces does not cause them to be finished. But so if we decided to spot with this guy, but hang on, Grant. See, he's not got line of sight on that. But no, he needs a line of sight, doesn't he? He does need line of sight. So I would have to do it with this one. It's only with the recon mission I don't think you need the line of sight. That was again, is my understanding. So I'd have to use that to try and identify that. So it's only 1 hex away, and it's in buildings. So no, is it anything to do with the spotting chart? I don't think it is. Where's the... Is it not this that I'm looking for? So an identification failure. We'd be rolling a dice. Wait, hang on. It's a D10, yeah. This is a D10 roll. So because there's only 1 to 2 hexes away, an 8, 9, or a 10 would be a failure. So that maybe is worthwhile going for. If we rolled less than an 8, then we've got them. You can see that if it's a recon mission, if we use a recon mission, it's an automatic success at 1 to 2 hexes. But that then finishes his move, his action. But I don't think it finishes his action. Looking at the example in the book, I mean, the problem is they don't succeed. He says, it says, you decide to attempt identification and roll a 7 on a 1d10. On the chart, you see that you need to roll lower than a 7 to attempt identification at 3 hexes, failing the roll. And then you finally decide which company to activate. So it doesn't... Certainly the failure there didn't finish his action in that example there. This is this one here. It's when they use this unit to try and identify this. And it doesn't spend it. It doesn't make it finished by doing that. So I think that's worth it then, isn't it? Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, but the only problem there is, no, because if it doesn't finish it, that's fine. Because what I want to be able to do is attack that, don't I? I want to be able to attack it. Now the issue there is no, they can't react to me attacking. This double time's going to come off when he's done his action as well. Right, I think I'm going to do this. We're going to attempt to spot this. Now, hang on, it did talk about it needing to be according to the spotting chart, stationary infantry and dispersed buildings. So this must follow the actual spotting chart then. This way of doing it. When activating player forces, before you decide which player force to activate, check to see if there are any AI intel markers in spotting range. Yeah, okay, it does talk about spotting range there. Whereas I don't think it does in the recon thing. Yeah, I don't think so. So spotting range for these guys, they're in a building. So they're in buildings, but it's yeah, they're infantry. They're classed as green infantry, and they're in buildings. So the rain, and they're not moving. So it needs to be within 3 hexes. But we're adjacent, so that's fine. So that's covered. And then we're going to roll on this. We're going to roll on this. So I'm going to roll a d10. As long as I roll 7 or less. We're good. So let's hope that works. And 3, good. Right, I'm going to see what's going to happen now then. So we've identified this infantry A. Okay, so that's going to open up a whole new thing. Was it? Sorry, I'm moving things about here. Intel marker may have identified. Right, so where does it tell me how we deal with an identified intel marker then? Right, let me find the proper bit. Okay, well it was just further on. It was on the next page 19. So replacement procedure. After a successful identification attempt, follow this procedure to convert an intel marker into a real AI company. Flip the intel marker. Right, is there not a chart about this? There is somewhere. Right, I can't find any. Maybe there is a chart. I know there's a chart that deals with what we're going to get here, but let's flip the intel marker first. Okay, so there's this one here. So we'll flip this over. And we've got, right, nice and simple, no event. So then it says event checking, make a 1d10 die roll and modify the result according to any applicable modifiers, because sometimes they're going to have some modifiers on it. Check to see if the event shown in the marker takes place. Where does that? Where does it go on about events? I mean, we've got no event, so do I really need to be looking for that? I guess I'm just curious to find out where it is. Executing orders. Station orders, not officers. No, I'm not finding the bit with events. It must be here somewhere. Okay, well, you know what? We've got no event, so yeah, but that's check to see if the event shown the marker takes place. Right, give me a second. Well, because I need to know how this works. I'm not awful sure we would find out about the events. There's nothing. I'm not finding anything. I found the bit. I found the player aid. Here's a replacement procedure, and again, this is about where we're at. Roll 1d10, modify it according to any applicable modifiers. Check to see if the event shown in the marker is triggered. Hold on then. Hold on. Yeah, read on maybe, Grant. It's maybe just included in this. I feel like it might have been on the chart or something. Yeah, so there's a bit of detailed because I think all the events, I think they're in here actually. So it says the following events may take place when an intel marker is identified. There's no event there. No event, there is no event, no event check roll. The player's intelligence reports are correct and the expected AI force is deployed. So there's nothing, but you could get dummy, replacement with AI force type X, add further forces, ambush, different position. I don't know if there's any more on that. So doesn't seem to be on a chart that, but anyway, maybe it is. So there's no event, and then with the same die roll result, randomly select a suitable AI officer by using the game 1.1 or game 1.2 charts, depending on the side managed by the AI. Right, I had them. So game 1.1, 1.2, it's 1.2 we want for the axis. Okay, so I do need to still roll a dice here, don't I? So let's get a d10 die roll. And I think you would use the same number that you rolled for the event here. Right, a 2. Okay, so we've got the right chart. Randomly select a suitable AI officer by using the game one, depending on, right. Okay, so this is a chart here. And this is the axis side. So we rolled the 2. And we're infantry A. So we rolled the 2. Ah, great. So I remember this bit from recent looking at the rules. So we've landed in here. There's the 2, but you can see it crosses from this one and this one. So it could be this and it could be this. Is that right? I think so. So the officer. So how do we decide between that and that? Right, I know I've seen this in the rule book, so let me try and find the bit that shows that. I think there's a little bit here. This is an example in the rule book. So officer and platoon selection example. Continuing where we left off. Well, I've not really read the previous bit because it covers an event that happens, right? But we didn't get an event, so we're continuing where we left off. You have to replace an infantry A marker using the axis intel marker conversion chart. I mean, this is for La Bataille France one, so but we're using the Normandy one. So actually, maybe I should get that chart out then, so I can compare it. Yeah, give me a second. Right, so just to compare that, I've got that chart out, LBF 1.2, because that's clearly going to be a bit different to our one. But it was just to compare this with this example. So you roll for checking the infantry A section under column 4 for the axis. Here we are. A4. See, yeah, it is the same. This is what I was hoping to see, because you can see the 4 is there, but it splits between this and this. So it carries on here. It says, you see that the following officers can be selected. So it's got A through to N. And the reason that is it's got A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I there. And then it's got M and N there. And because they are there and there, so they're included. So that's why, going by the one we rolled, a 2. See, I don't know. They've got some in brackets. There's none on that, is there? But see the one we're about to try and work out, which is in the 2 here. Well, we're going to have officers A, B, C, and D. But the thing is, we're going to have, there's some mech ones and there's some air ones. Well, hold on. They've got the same. They're going to have infantry ones or engineer ones. So let's carry on. Let's see what it says. Put all these officers in the opaque cup except German officers B, E, and H that are already in play. Right, okay, they're already in play. In this example, 2 companies that are available for selection. In most cases, only 1 company will be available. I.e., for marker infantry A, you will 4 infantry platoons if you roll a 7. Yes, okay. So you draw a counter randomly from the cup and take German Officer M, as this is a valid selection for the die roll. German Officer M, so that's the one with the engineers, isn't it? Yuck. I think what I need to do here is not just have officers A, B, C, and D. I think I need mech officers A, B, C, and D. See, these are in brackets. I don't know why these are in brackets. I've not read anything that explains that to me. Why are they in brackets? I don't know, but let's just finish this block. So you draw a counter random with a card and take German Officer N, and this is looking at the Labatai example again. Let me zoom out there a bit. So you got the M. So didn't get this one. Got the M, which says it's going to be the engineer, and it's going to be 3 engineers. You see? Whereas if it had got, I think it gives you an example. Germans of M and 3 German engineer platoons marked M, or 3 unmarked ones will be deployed. For example, if the drawn officer had been G, so that is here, then you would have this. It would be German officer G, it would be deployed along with 3 infantry and 1 machine gun 34 platoons. Once the company has been selected, all officers must be returned from the cup to the reserve spaces of the HQ board. Okay, so I'd like to know what the brackets mean, but I think we've rolled on a 2 here. So my take on this is, the thing is, they have different letters in that one, but these are A, B, C, D and A, B, C, D. Where does it show me the guys on this headquarters? A, B, C, D. These are infantry. These are all infantry. That's heavy weapons. That's air infantry. Air heavy weapons. SS infantry, SS armour. The other side's got the allies on it, so it's got to be within here. So what? We've got air. So is that these? Air, A, B, C, D. As well, it just starts with B. Oh no, hang on. Air infantry, and then air infantry up there. So A, B, C, D, and then the other ones are mech panzer. Is that the armored ones then? I don't know. Well, they've got that on the back of them, so I need to hunt out the counters and have a look, I guess. Well, I'm starting to see some. I suppose it's got their names there as well. There's McCrocky. HPT. I don't know what the HPT. Is that like... It's no captain. I mean, it's obviously a German. So he's there, and he's an airborne heavy weapons officer. So he is there. But that's not, I think, what it's asking for, is it? Because if it was asking for an airborne heavy weapons, there's an example there. Airborne heavy weapons. So this is just a basic air. So yeah, my guess is it's like this guy, these guys, A, B, C, and D there. Let's see if I can find some of them. I'm looking at the chart wrong. Sorry, it's underneath is above. Yeah. So that says air infantry. So this is Lieutenant Whiter here, and he is an airborne officer. So it's A, B, C and D. I think that's the ones that we want for the airborne officers. Okay. Okay, I'm still unsure about how this all works. So I think I'm getting it, but I've asked a question regarding why they've got them in parenthesis and brackets. Some of them, you know, like the one we're looking at here, the C and the D in brackets. I have found the A and the B for the Mech Panzer, and on this, I can see that it's there is more information. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, see this guy here, Mech Volkhad. He's got Mech beside him, so that's the A, and there's the B, Tolly, and he's got Mech. However, you can see these are A and B, and these are got MOT, motorised. The M1, 2, 3, 4 of them, but I can't see another Mech. So I don't know what the C and the D is referencing there. So I've asked the question on BGG to see. What I've realised, I'm at 38 minutes there as well, and I need to take a break. So it seems a crappy place just to stop, but I'm going to do that. So we are still in the Americans' turn. They have identified us. We need to work out what it is, basically. I've got some officers set aside here, but let's do this properly and make sure that I'm getting it right. So like I say, I need to take a break, so I might as well just cut the part here, and then that wraps up another part, and I can come back with part 5 a bit later. So we're going to do that. So okay, I'll be back later. Cheers.